Der Mensch tracht und Gott lacht is an old Yiddish adage meaning man plans and God laughs. Despite our most careful planning, as that old Yiddish saying reminds us, the old road of life is often unpredictable. And yet I've always tried to work against this old Yiddish saying, man plans and God laughs. I've always liked to make plans. When I was 10, I already had my bar mitzvah planned out. When I was 15, I already knew where I wanted to go to college. When I was 25, I already knew the type of synagogue I wanted to work. And while life has often sent me unexpected challenges that have temporarily taken me off my expected path, in the end, I've always been able to continue on my hoped-for path. Even when there have been many great challenges around me and in our world, 9/11, the Great Recession, Hurricane Harvey, the world around me got back to normal fairly quickly. And that state of normalcy allowed me to continue on with my personal plans. This time, it seems different. Over 2 months into this global pandemic, and we still don't know when normalcy will return. Earlier this week, I read an article that said as long as all this craziness has seemed, we're really only in the second inning. Second inning. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm in the 18th inning. Another headline said, the first part might be over, but the real battle lies ahead. And even when this game is over, who knows what our new normal will be? There's never been more uncertainty. What will be left of our economy? How different will our society look? Will people return to synagogues? Personally, I pray my children can perhaps go to camp this summer and return to school in the fall. I hope they can soon go out with their friends and play sports again safely. Basic parts of life that my wife Lisa and I have worked so hard to provide our children. Now, nothing is certain. No one can really plan for anything because no one knows what our world, our region, our community will look like next month, let alone next week. Maybe our biblical ancestors had it easier. In our second Torah portion of this morning, Behilkotai, the Torah made life very certain for our ancestors. It seemed very straightforward. You followed the commandments, you were blessed. Rain, produce and food, security. If you didn't follow the commandments, you were cursed. There would be famine, persecution, and utter destruction. Our rabbis understood human nature with the rabbinical expression, there is no happiness like the resolution of doubt. They knew that relieving oneself of uncertainty is a source of comfort and ultimately of joy. They recognized that living with haziness and doubt has many psychological costs: anxiety and stress, depression and sadness, anger and frustration. Yet as one of my teachers, writer Erica Brown, points out, two great rabbis debate on the importance of ambiguity in life. One rabbi, Rabbi Yossi, takes the position designed to maximize self-protection. He says a person does not put himself in a position of uncertainty. No one willingly likes to lose control, thinks Rabbi Yossi, and puts himself or herself into a situation of doubt and ambivalence. Rabbi Meir disagrees. He believed that a person puts himself in a position of uncertainty every single time they make a new commitment. Was that with every commitment, he believed, comes a degree of risk. He may be right. We all invite some degree of doubt into our lives as we proceed through our life journeys. We cannot always reside in unwavering certainty. To move forward and advance in virtually all arenas of life, we need to anticipate that risk will live near us and with us. In essence, this debate between two great rabbis of the Talmud is about whether or not people opt for ambiguity as needed, or whether the fear of doubt is so great that human beings will go out of their way to avoid that ambivalence. Yes, some people like me tend to follow Rabbi Yossi, the first rabbi. If I can help it, I like to plan so that nothing is left to chance. I like the safety of knowing that all is set up. For example, I love planning our family vacations. Every hour of every day is set so we know exactly what we're going to do when. It may drive my family crazy, but I like to know where we'll eat that day, what we're going to eat. If I can help it, nothing is left unplanned. But of course, some people are more like Rabbi Meir. They enjoy the excitement of the unknown. When they go on vacations, nothing is planned. They enjoy the freedom to choose at the moment. They can survive knowing that nothing is certain. This pandemic is forcing me to become more like Rabbi Meir, inviting more uncertainty into my life. I really have no choice. I have to learn to live with it. Maybe that's a good thing. Perhaps I need more ambiguity in my life. Like Rabbi Meir said, to move forward in life, we must take on some levels of uncertainty. I pray this experience will encourage me to take more risk. From basic things like not planning so much on our family vacations, to taking on more risks at work, to allowing my growing children to do even more on their own. Maybe I need to be a little less like Rabbi Yossi and more like Rabbi Meir. Right now, more than ever, none of us really has a choice. The late comedian Gilda Radner sums up perhaps what we all need to deal with right now. She once wrote, quote, "I wanted a perfect ending. Now I've learned the hard way that some poems don't rhyme and some stories don't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Life is about not knowing," she writes, "having to change at the last moment, taking the moment and making the best of it without knowing what's going to happen next. Delicious ambiguity." My friends, this is the great challenge for planners like me, learning to live with so much ambiguity. Perhaps, as a Jew, that's what faith is really all about. As Rabbi Jonathan Sachs points out, faith is not certainty. Faith is the courage to live with uncertainty. I love that quote. Faith is the courage to live with uncertainty. The story of our Torah is the perfect example. Almost every phase of our people's exodus from Egypt was fraught with difficulties, real or imagined. That is what makes the Torah so powerful. That's why we read the same stories year after year. It does not pretend that life is any easier than it is. The road the Torah lays out for us, that our ancestors followed, is not straight, and the journey is long. Unexpected things happen. Disasters suddenly appear. Yet throughout it all, God is with our people, always giving them the courage they need, the knowledge that we can handle the unknown becomes ingrained in our people's memory. That's how we as Jews have always been different. Other nations told stories that celebrated their strength. They built palaces and castles as expressions of their invincibility. The Jewish people, our people, were different. For 3,000 years, we have carried a story about the uncertainties and hazards of history. We speak throughout the year and through so many of our holidays, in our Torah portions, in our values. We speak of our ancestors' journey through the wilderness without homes, houses, protection against the elements as our story, a story we take with pride. Our story has always been one of spiritual strength, not military strength. No matter how uncertain life seemed, we as Jews have always survived, and we will continue to survive because we believed God was really there to help lead us. Here is the question I believe all of us need to ponder. I ponder every day now. Can we continue this journey, this unbelievable journey into the unknown, with a deeper sense of that faith that has always guided our people? Shabbat Shalom.